Is it a museum or is it a movie location? When it comes to LA, it's always both. The Natural History Museum and Exhibition Park opened in 1913 as the Museum of History, Science, and Art. This iconic entryway has served as the backdrop of dozens of Hollywood productions. The towering Three Graces statue by Julia Bracken Went and their magical orb of glorious light thrust up under the soft, majestic stained glass dome created by Walter Horace Judson. Hey, Valley Girl, look at this. We're in this beautiful rotunda here where they filmed tons and tons of movies here and TV shows. A lot of them, both of us are very familiar with.
Absolutely.
You're a big fan of Bones, right?
I am. I love Bones.
And Alias.
Yes.
They filmed a pilot of Bones in here. They filmed Alias in here. Let's look on our $1,200 toy, as I like to call it, and see what else. MacGyver, for goodness sake. An episode called The Thief of Budapest. An old episode of Mission Impossible in here. But the big one that everybody's going to recognize is, I know, one of both of our favorites, Spider-Man. This is where he got bit by the spider. And of course, Peter Parker on a field trip here. Big, huge scene. Pretty Woman.
Wow.
It was the opera. It was doubled as the Opera House and Pretty Woman. Scarecrow and Mrs. King. Okay, that takes everybody back a little bit. 90210. The Monster Squad movie. You remember the Monster Squad on cable? Bonfire of the Vanities was filmed here with Tom Hanks and Melanie Griffith. But I think that's a pretty damn good list, don't you think?
It is, very.
Let's go see the rest in the museum, shall we?
Yes.
The art left for Wilshire Boulevard in 1965, but the history and science remained. The first exhibit Valley Girl and I checked out was the Hall of African Mammals. The enormous series of dioramas with true-to-life animal replicas gives a good perspective of how they live in their natural habitats. These famous displays have been featured in the films School for Scoundrels with Billy Bob Thornton and John Heder in 2006, and Vibes with Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum in 1988. Look, Valley Girl, it's like a Disney movie, huh? The hyenas? This is the Lion King you don't get to see. See, Darlene, I told you it was Lion King. Look, see? There you go. There's now, Simba in the background there. Everything's cool, man, you know? It's like Lion King, the taxidermy version. Hey, look, it's some zebra nom-noms out there in the Serengeti. Dinosaur Hall is the next exhibit we checked out, debuting in 2010 after an extensive renovation. Did you know that mosasaurs were fearsome swift hunters? If you saw Jurassic World, then you know they loved picking pterodactyls out of their teeth. Dinosaur Hall has bird's eye and up-close views of dozens of fossils, like a full-size T-Rex head, so you can fulfill that paleontologist fetish Hollywood Greg knows you've been having. As Cyrus from the Warriors would say, "Can you dig it?" You can even play Alice Cooper and feed your Frankenstein with a Triceratops built from 4 different sites from Montana and Wyoming. Maybe they should have called the fossil Shelley. Then there's the main hall with its notorious 67-million-year-old dueling dinos. Then 2005 Ashton Kutcher rom-com A Lot Like Love featured the Rex and Triceratops along with the polar bears of the North American Hall of Mammals for good measure. Wayne, guess what that is? That's a dinosaur's butt. That's some Revenant stuff right there, babe. Let's wait for him to come eat your head. So, Darlene, where did we see a bunch of these?
When we were in Alaska and Glacier Bay, saw them running up and down the hills.
Yeah. Then came the Age of Mammals in the 2-story Amundsen Hall. It's the newest regular exhibit at the NHM, telling the 65 million year evolution of mammals that made the SoCal area their home. Want to see a full-size fin whale fossil float through the air? I knew you did. This marvel can either act as your north entrance to the NHM or as your exit through the gift shop, all Banksy style as shit. We didn't get to see it at night, all lit up, but this enormous, super intelligent Balinoptera physalis could live up to 100 years old and probably repeat its species name better than I can. I'm looking forward to the P22 exhibit because he was pretty much in our backyard, Darlene, right over at Griffith Park. And it's a 10-minute walk away from where we live over underneath our beautiful palm tree lined street. I always would sit there and think of what if he comes on and pays us a visit in our neighborhood, huh?
Yeah. Especially if you're out there walking around in Griffith Park.
Yeah. Well, no, I was hoping he'd just come walk straight down our street on Wilton and just have a little parade, little cat parade.
Right.
Yeah. LA is the only city where they would let a mountain lion live under the light of the Hollywood sign. I mean, they let P22 run free in the park, but he was still under surveillance. It was like Angelinos having the copters buzz over their apartments all night. Watching the continuous updates on KTLA 5 every year, it felt like he was our honorary city icon. Just like he was a resilient survivor, forever feeding off of the land to make it by, it was a plotline every LA citizen shared with P22. And when he got sick, and then later died, that's why they had a concert in his honor. If he was alive, our spirits were still alive. Hey everyone, we have just finished going through the Natural History Museum here in Los Angeles. We are here in the beautiful nature garden. Not everything is blooming, but it's off season. That's kind of how we felt about the museum. I would give it like a solid B. Lots and lots of amazing things. The dinosaurs. If you like dinosaurs, wasn't this the place
to go?
Yeah.
Found out a bunch of fun facts today. A lot of the dinosaurs were not made from all of the parts of the dinosaur, that they had to get other parts from other places to put one together, because rarely do they have all of the dinosaurs in one location. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
How about that? It's the sum of its parts, but the sum of its parts are from all over the place.
All over the place, yes.
That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah, so I've been looking at that my entire life. Every single time I went to the Field Museum in Chicago, every single time I went to a science museum, the fossils are put together from different places. What was disappointing, they made a big deal of this LA underwater exhibit, and it turned out to be what?
Too small.
Yes, a bunch of little fossils. One that they bring you in there and have this big sign, LA underwater, and then they have this half-completed fossil of something they're not even really kind of sure it is. Some in relation to a sea lion or something.
I think they could have done a lot more with it if they had made the room bigger. They had a really great reflection of the ocean on the wall, and I thought how great it would be if they made that larger for people to enjoy. So.
Yeah. I mean, they had an interactive thing for kids. We saw them playing with it. Looks like they, tuned out halfway through it. But we learned a lot today. We saw a lot today. But the name of the game here is dinosaurs. You want to see some really awesome dinosaur fossils and some dinosaur displays and exhibits and learn some new things? This is the place to come. It's never too late to take the trip of a lifetime with Hollywood Greg and Valley Girl here on our YouTube channel. New episodes weekly at Hollywood Greg LA. That's at Hollywood Greg LA.